Hey everybody, we are going to talk to these four amazing women. They're all jewels in Plexus, and I am so proud of every single one of them. They've all been working the business around a year. Jamie, it might even be a little less than a year, or just at a year. I think it's her 1 year mark. So we are going to hear from them, and I have some questions that I'm going to be asking them. And the awesome thing that we have going on here is if you've read the Color MLM book by Big Al, we have all four colors represented here. They have a little bit of mix, but Brittney is a green, Kodie's a red, Tiffany's a blue, and Jamie is a yellow. So that kind of helps you know who you relate to, and it shows that anybody can be successful in this business. It's not limited to any personality type. So, Kodie, I'm going to ask you first, what were your goals when you got started with Plexus?
Well, first, really, I just wanted to lose some weight. So I wanted to lose about 20 pounds. And honestly, that's all I thought that Plexus was for, was just weight loss. And I'm not normally a huge researcher, but I went kind of looking for some more information and stumbled across some testimonies, and mostly YouTube testimonies. But I was listening and I was reading, and I was getting really excited because I realized that it was so much more than weight loss. And I thought, if Plexus can help all these different people with all of these different things, why not me? Why not the people that I love and care about that I knew were suffering from one thing or another? So I got excited, and that's what kind of made me want to start sharing. But I had no idea what an MLM was when I first started. But once I found out that you could make real money sharing and helping people change their lives for the better, I was all sign me up for that. So I ended up losing 24 pounds, and I've helped lots of people I love and care about and total strangers get healthy. So yeah, it's awesome. I think my goal started just to lose weight, and then it quickly turned into I wanted to help as many people as I possibly could get healthy and change their lives while on my way to becoming a millionaire. I think that's what my goal was.
Brittney, what about you?
My goals when I first started, kind of like Kodie, was just to lose weight. I thought that's what it was for. I was really struggling to lose baby weight after my fourth child. And so I saw Phallin posting about it, and she was my best friend. So, of course, I trusted her. I knew that she was super health-minded, and I knew that her lifestyle backed that up, whatever she believed about health. And so I just jumped all in with the products, and I loved the products. It cleared up my stomach issues that I had dealt with my entire life. I just thought it was a way of life for me, and I was used to it. But over time, I just realized my stomach was acting more and more like a normal person's stomach, whatever that was. So that was a pleasant surprise. And then my husband, I got him on the products, and he he had some awesome health results. He lost a bunch of weight and some other health things. So I decided that I was going to share it with everybody that I knew. And my goal when I first started the business was definitely to be a diamond. I generally try to do 100% whatever I do. And so this was no different. I just decided if I was going to do it, I was going to do it. And so, yeah, wanted to be a diamond from the very beginning.
Awesome. And Jamie, you want to share?
Yeah, I started Plexus. I actually got my parents on it first, and then I quickly decided I wanted to take the products just to have some, like a healthy probiotic and a multivitamin, and for the future to prevent future stuff that ran in my family. But in terms of the business, I really wanted to have the products pay for themselves. So I started off thinking, okay, if I could hit silver and even make a little bit extra money, then that would be awesome. And I remember being on a 3-way call with Tiffany and Phallin, and Phallin asked me how much money I wanted to make a month, and I think I said maybe $300 or something, and she laughed at me, and she said that I would make much more than that. And that is why I decided to go all in, really. It was because of my upline, because of Tiffany and Phallin, who said that this business opportunity is real and that I could do it. And for me, that was a really big deal, having leaders who could breathe that belief into me. So, yep.
I remember that call. I remember thinking, oh, girl, you just made that this week already. You're going to have your mind blown next month. Okay, Tiffany, what about you? What were your goals?
Yes, hello. So my health goals, so Phallin and I are not sisters for the record, or twins. We met when, she bought a stroller from me, and she did not know at the time, but I was on over 10 prescription medications. And so after ignoring her for a little while, I decided to try Plexus. And it was shortly after that, I'm now off of every single prescription medication and avoided many more. And as far as my business goals, when I started, I didn't really have a lot of business goals. We wanted to be able to pay for private school, but I just didn't believe that this opportunity that we could do it. I thought it's just another MLM. What could it really do for us? Because I had, I'd tried a few other MLMs before. But being a military wife, it was important for us to, we were always looking for a way to supplement our income. And so I thought, well, hey, if I can do this, maybe we could make it work. And of course, over time, our goals evolved, and we caught, a greater vision of what Plexus could really do for our family. And so that's kind of how everything started.
Okay. Thank you, ladies, for sharing how you got started. Now we're going to talk about your business journeys. What hurdles did you have to come in your personal lives, in your mind, to get to where you are today? Kodie, you want to go first again?
Sure. I don't mind going first. So I've got one word: negativity. I knew that it was huge in my circle, a lot of negativity. And I knew that it was affecting my life personally. So I knew right away that it was going to affect my business as soon as I realized that I was going to go for it and try the business. So I really, and when I say negativity, I mean, I had a lot of people, one-uppers, who would, if you said your baby was sick, their baby was sicker. And if you said you had a bad day, their bad day was worse, and they couldn't wait to tell you all about it. People who were really quick to comment on a rant post or a controversial post, but they pulled a Houdini when you said that you were having a great day or something really great was going on in your life. They just weren't even around for that. So those are the types of people I'm talking about. But I had a lot of that in my circle, and I knew that I had to get rid of it. And some of them were family members, relatives, friends, but they all got the same message from me. I joined in March of 2015, and I started working my business in April of 2015. So in that month, I drew my line in the sand, and I started getting rid of the negativity in my life. And it was a little difficult, but it was necessary. And I went back today, and I found that message that I sent to those people, and I'm going to read it to you now. This is exactly what I sent to those people. I have decided that I'm doing something great. In order for me to be successful, I need to free myself from negativity. For this reason, I am deleting you from Facebook today. This is not about you, so I hope there's no hard feelings. This is about me. I hope that you too will decide to free yourself from negativity. I wish you all the luck, all the best, and all the luck. Kodie. And before they could respond, I blocked them on Facebook. I know this kind of maybe sounds like a little extreme, but to me, like I said, it was a little difficult, but it was so freeing when it was over. I felt free, and I could use that the positive energy that I had, that people were kind of sucking out of me, I can use it for myself. And that brings me to my next topic, was my negative self-talk was the other part of the negativity that was in my life at that point. So I was able to focus on that now, because I didn't have those people dragging me down anymore. And for those of you who don't know my story, a lot of our team members do, but just a real little bit, I am an abuse survivor. I grew up in a very abusive home, violence, drug abuse, alcohol abuse. And I was told quite often as a child that I was bad, I was not worthy, I was never going to accomplish anything. And a lot of that came from my dad. I knew that in order for me to be successful, I needed to forgive my dad. And my parents had a story that they like to tell me a lot too, that they went to the doctor to get their tubes tied, my mom's tubes tied, and they found out at that doctor's appointment that I was on the way. So there was a lot of negativity in my life. I knew that I had to free myself from that in order for me to grow and for me to be successful. So I had to forgive my dad for being very, very, very wrong about me. And I did that with a lot of prayer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, absolutely, and positive affirmations was another huge part of that. So positive affirmations, they seem a little silly at first when you're kind of talking to yourself in the mirror, but you get used to it, and it's really important. So I'm going to read to you some of my personal positive affirmations that I tell myself every day. God put me on this earth for a reason. I am successful and I am worthy of success. I can do this. People care about me. People care about what I have to say, and people listen. So positive affirmations are huge. If you haven't written yours down, where you just take the negatives in your mind and you spin it to a positive and you tell yourself that every day, put them on the mirror. There's actually really awesome apps on your phone that you can type in your affirmations and they read them to you, or put them to music, which is kind of cool. So you can set that up and play those while you get ready for your day.
I love it. That's been a big part of my journey too. Okay, Jaime, do you want to share with us what hurdles you've had to overcome in your business and life?
Yes. So for me, getting started, I had to do things that made me really uncomfortable. I worried about what other people would think of me and what they would say. And I had to really get over that. I had to become more self-confident. I had to develop belief in myself. We talk about belief in the company and belief in the products a lot. But for me, another aspect of that was that belief in myself. And I had to believe that I could do this and that I could communicate effectively and help others in this way, that I could be a good leader, that I could be confident and be successful. So for me, that's where my personal growth had to really begin, was finding that belief in myself so I could move forward and I could do this day in and day out. And I did that by, I think, just taking one step in front of the other every day, and using my upline and reading personal growth books were huge, and just identifying that and realizing that within myself. So that was my biggest hurdle.
I love how far you've come. Okay, Brittney, want to share with us?
Yeah. So first of all, one of my hurdles was kind of the same as Jaime. I'm an introvert. Greens just by nature are. And so talking to people about Plexus was really uncomfortable for me, but I chose to do it scared anyway. But the main thing that really held me back in my business for a long time was belief. Just like Jaime just said, there's really three things in this business that you have to have 100% to the core, unshakable belief in if you are going to be really successful. So the first thing you have to believe in is the products. The second thing is a business opportunity, and the third thing is yourself. Well, I never really struggled with belief in the business opportunity because I was a customer for several months before I joined, And I joined fully knowing what a fabulous business opportunity this was, just based on what I knew about the timing and the products, things like that. So I read books about the industry. So I've never struggled with belief in the business model. I love the business model. What I struggled with was belief in the products. I didn't really understand fully the value of what I had my hands on here. I didn't really understand how it all worked. And my brain is just like really technical. And so I have to understand the why and the how behind everything. And if I can't fully wrap my head around those concepts, then it will be a struggle for me. So for a while, I didn't understand why it was helping with so many different things. I didn't have that unshakable belief in the products. So in the beginning, when I had customers who would come to me and say, oh, I'm not losing weight, or, oh, it's making me have this symptom, I believed them. And it was super discouraging to me. On top of that, I really did not believe in myself at all. I doubted that I could do it. I had thoughts like, well, this person lives in the same town I do. Why wouldn't they just join that person instead of me, you know? Or so what if I did make it to Diamond? Would I be able to, do I have what it takes to lead thousands of people? Would I want that many people depending on me? I mean, I had thoughts like that. So I really struggled with belief in myself. Eventually I learned that I do have a lot to offer people. I really do. Everybody does. Everybody has a lot to offer people because God made us all different. I also realized that everybody on a Diamonds team does not depend on the diamond. So you don't have to, there's not enough hours in the day for a diamond to talk to 3 or 4 or more thousand people on their team every single day. But it really is based on duplication. So that really is the key. So those types of things, all that combined, lack of belief in the products, lack of belief in myself, after a while, it really, really got to me. And I tried to keep going, but I just got so discouraged and it was really stressing me out. And so eventually I quit. And so I told Phallin, I don't think I can do this anymore. I just can't. And so I just quit for an entire year. I just cold turkey quit. So during that year, it really, really bugged me that this didn't work out. Failure is just generally not an option for me. I just was not willing to lay down and accept that. And so, I really did want to work the business. And I would tell Phallin, we still talked every single day. But I would tell her, if I could just overcome these belief issues, I could totally rock this business. And I know it. And so I did a lot of personal growth. I read Switch on Your Brain. That really was the catalyst for the second part of my journey, because I realized that I don't have to believe everything I think, and that my thoughts really can become my reality, and that I was sabotaging my own success by the things that I thought about myself or other things. And really the only thing that was holding me back was me. And so Switch on Your Brain was definitely a game changer for me. I also read Grain Brain, which is all about inflammation and doesn't really have anything to do with our products, but it was all about inflammation, which, most of us know our products help with that. And so it was like an aha moment for me. Like a lot of things clicked for me about the products when I read that book. And I also read Why We Get Fat and What to Do About It, which is all about blood sugar balance and hormones. So just doing research and learning a ton about, what causes chronic disease, things like that, it really, really ignited a passion within me for these products and what these products were doing and how it all worked together. And I realized that these supplements were addressing long-term health, that this was not about weight loss. This was about long-term health. And so that was definitely something I could be totally passionate about. And at that point, I decided that everybody I knew needed to be on these products. And so that that's kind of how I overcame my belief issues, just learning and growing. So yeah.
Thank you. Tiffany, I think you're the next one.
Yes. Belief, that was, again, very important for me. Time management was something that I really had to work on as well, just figuring out how to fit everything into my day. Also, fear of failure and rejection, that was huge for me. And I think a lot of people can kind of relate to that because, you know, we're constantly worrying about what others think about us or how they're going to perceive us. And another, you know, I remember telling you, post this on social media, on Facebook? What? I mean, I didn't want to post anything Plexus on Facebook at all. I was terrified. But, you know, and again, that just kind of went back to belief in myself and that fear of the failure and rejection that I was feeling. And so, you know, another thing I did was really, I wasn't afraid to ask my family for help, you know, the kids, the girls, my husband, just really needing their love and support really helped me just to overcome the hurdles and get through everything. So.
Yes. Okay. Going on to the next question. Let's see. Some of you have already talked about this, but did you ever have any aha moments where there was a turning point in your business and things just suddenly took off? Whoever wants to go first can go first on that. Kodie, do you want to? Or did
I will.
You talk about this?
So my aha moment came really early in my business. When I decided that I was going to go for it in April, I was all in, 100% committed, but I was still terrified. I read a quote that I've carried with me this entire year. And it goes, courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in spite of fear. And I love that because I spent most of my life feeling like people who were doing great things and accomplishing success were fearless. And that wasn't true. They were just doing it anyway. They were still scared. They were just doing it anyway. So that was kind of my aha moment. I thought, I am just going to do it anyway. And when Phallin and we really started working the business together, we decided we're going to do these weekly team calls. And I was terrified. At first, we had one or two people on for a few weeks, I think, and I think it was probably Brittney and Tiffany. And it was just us for a while, and I was terrified every time I did it. They've grown really big now, but you know, as you step out and you do things, even though you're afraid, it gets easier. And as you get positive feedback, it grows your confidence. So that helps. So definitely that aha moment was that quote. And I kind of had another one. Early in my business, I think that I might have been gold when I did my first 3-2-1 with Lori Welch. And Lori, after the 3-2-1 was over, I mean, that month I worked hard. I worked 7 days a week, every single day. You know, they ask you to pick 5 days. I worked them all. And my 3-2-1s looked like a crazy person. The numbers were really high. But after it was over, Lori sent me a message and said that she took notice that I worked every day and that I was a rock star and that I was awesome. And I was like, wow, I'm awesome. I mean, at first, I guess it was a question. I was like, I'm awesome. And I turned it into, I'm awesome, you know? So I guess I had a choice at that moment. I could either choose to believe that Lori Welch has lost her mind or that I was in fact awesome. And I choose to believe that I was awesome. So that was another aha moment for me.
You are awesome. You are.
Thanks, girl.
Who else? I know, Brittney, you talked about it, but did you have more for this one, an aha moment, or Tiffany? I know Tiffany has one. Tiffany, why don't you share yours real quick?
Yeah, I started sharing Plexus in April last year, and you know, I was at gold throughout the summer into starting into fall there, but my sister actually July 20th last year, she passed away at age 38 from breast cancer. Sorry. And that was really, that was kind of my point where I knew the Lord was showing me a different path. I knew he had plans, and that I had to trust him and follow. And I really started to focus more on, health and wellness and how Plexus could really help people and change lives. And why wasn't I taking it more serious? I mean, this is our health we're talking about. And I had my degree in healthcare sciences, my bachelor's. And so I've always wanted to help others and invest in them. And so it kind of became clear to me when she did pass away. It's been almost a year, on the 20th this month, that Plexus was the answer. And it was shortly after that I poured even more into my team. I focused on them, their goals, what they wanted. And that's really when, I started to grow as well, was from that moment that I took it serious and really invested the time. So, yeah, sorry.
You're fine. I remember thinking she can either let this totally shut her business down, because having a sister die, and that's a pretty life-shaking thing. But instead, she came back from the funeral on fire, like a lightning bolt.
Yeah, and Lori Welch, we had just started our 3-2-1 that month, and Lori said, it's okay to take a break. And I just remember telling Lori, like, I have to help people, Lori. I have to help everybody. Like, I know. And, I grieved, and I took time, and everything that I needed to do, but it really lit the fire under me to come back and just go full speed with the business, truly. And it's still a very biggest part of my why. So.
Awesome. Jaime or Brittney, did you guys have an aha moment that you haven't talked about yet? Brittney?
Yeah, I do. So like I said earlier, I had quit the business for an entire year. And I think what my aha moment was, it was kind of a process, but first of all, that entire year that I quit, I still got a check every single month. Not a month went by I didn't get paid. So that was like, well, this is amazing. This is a cool business. That's residual income. So that was a big deal. And then, but with the products though, I still used the products, and so did my husband, the entire year. Like, we really liked the products. And so it just got to the point where I thought, okay, well, if I'm still using these products after all this time, clearly I value it enough to pay for it. So why wouldn't somebody else? It was like, duh. And so that was really when I started doing a lot of research about the products. And so that's when I read Grain Brain and the other books about health. So that was kind of my aha moment for the products. For the business, the 3-2-1 chat, for real. I thought I was working my business up until that point, but when we started that, and like I was actually being held accountable for reaching out to 2 people each day. I'm following up with the ones I had already spoke with, and even posting on Facebook. Like, I thought I was consistent with that, but I really wasn't. That chat really helped me see, okay, this is what it really looks like to work your Plexus business. So that was an aha moment. And then another thing was, well, I don't know if this is an aha moment, but it was definitely motivating, was when I saw everybody's pictures in Hawaii last year. At that point, I was like, okay, I'm setting a goal right now to get to Emerald by this date. And so I did. I set goals, and I hit every goal a month earlier than what I intended. So that was awesome. But yeah, those are the main 3 things.
Okay, we have some questions coming in, so I'm going to add this on here where it applies. Brittney, what were the books that you recommended? Grain Brain and Switch on Your Brain?
Yeah, Switch on Your Brain, Personal Growth. And then Grain Brain, I don't know the author. And then Why We Get Fat and What to Do About It. I don't know the author of that one either.
Okay. And then, Jaime, did you have an aha moment? And if you did, share it. And can you explain what the 3-2-1 thing is that we all keep talking about?
Sure. Yes, the 3-2-1 thing is our daily IPA. For our team, we do 5 days of the week, 3 posts on Facebook. So you're doing 2 on your personal, or 2 personal posts and 1 Plexus post, and then making 2 new contacts with people you've never talked to before about, and 1 follow-up. So we do that with our team. In terms of my aha moment, when I first started, things were really, they seemed a little overwhelming. It's kind of all about you. What are you going to, in terms of, you have to sign people, you have to try and build this team. And I think when that really hit me was when I had people like team members, Sue, Sal, Lance, Val, some other ones that were right there with me. They were growing as leaders, and I realized this was something we're doing together, and we're having success together. And it's not about me, it's about us as a team. And we're accomplishing this as a whole, as a group, and we're doing events together and relying on each other and supporting each other and encouraging each other. So that was where it really started to become real and kind of grow from there. And yeah.
I love it. I love the whole team thing. I had an aha moment like that myself. So the 3-2-1, it's a chat. So we have a chat where we do all the work Jaime said, and then we post done at the end of every day. And if you miss 2 days in a row, you get kicked out. So it's kind of like a wake up call, like, oh, I wasn't really working like I thought I was. And it holds me accountable as a diamond. So I love it. Okay. We might go a little long, but I'm going to make sure we cover all these questions here. But did you ever feel discouraged or question yourself or what you were doing? And if so, how did you overcome that? Because we want solutions.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Brittney, you want to go, and then Kodie, you can go next.
Yeah.
Sure. So what was the question, and what did we do about it if we felt discouraged?
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely feel discouraged. I think everybody, there's ups and downs in this business as with anything in life. So first of all, your why needs to be big enough. You need to be driven by your why instead of your emotions. But when I get discouraged, and I'm saying that in present tense because there are still days I get discouraged, I usually call Phallin because Phallin is an awesome leader, but she's also an awesome friend. And so she will remind me that I'm awesome too. And she'll pat me on the back and tell me I'm doing a good job. So we all need somebody like that we can plug into that can reinforce, the good stuff and just kind of give us a pep talk. She definitely is good at that. And I pray. I just ask God to give me grace if I feel overwhelmed or discouraged or whatever. And he does. He definitely does. And then I check my activity. If I'm feeling discouraged, it's usually because I am in team building mode and not doing my daily IPA. So the cure for being discouraged and stuff like that is get back into activity. Reach out to your new people. Add some new blood to your team. Just work. Do your follow-ups and all of that stuff.
I definitely agree. Kodie, what do you say about that? Been discouraged? How'd you overcome it?
Yes, ma'am. I have been discouraged, and I'm sure there might be something else, but in my mind, I think that the many times that I've got discouraged in this business was when I was comparing myself to others. And we hear all the time, don't do that. But I think everybody does it. And ladies, I'm talking to you. We do this quite often, right? We compare ourselves to each other, and it's totally the wrong thing to do. And I found that when I was doing that, I was completely robbing myself of the opportunity to celebrate my own success and my own victories because I was so hyper-focused on what everybody else was doing that I wasn't allowing myself to be excited for myself and my own victories. I mean, every month my team was growing, my points were getting bigger, I was hitting promotions, but I don't know. I think I robbed myself of my own joy because I was worried so much about everybody else. I guess how I overcame that was a lot of prayer and realizing that I was was being selfish, not allowing myself to truly be happy for some of the people around me. And let me tell you, it was easy for me to fall into this trap early, because everybody on this call, all these fantastic ladies, grew very quickly and are super awesome. But I think really what got me through that was Girl Code, the book Girl Code. And I started it before. I didn't finish it. I just finished it. I went through the book again, and it is an absolutely amazing book. And there was a quote in there that I love. Another person's success is not your failure. I mean, that's amazing, right? Really keep your eyes on your own mat, and do not let comparison steal your joy. It absolutely will. And when you do that, when you compare to others, all you're doing is robbing yourself of the chance to celebrate yourself.
I love that, Kodie. Thank you for sharing. Tiffany.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually almost quit before I even started because my detox. But every time, I heard so many jokes made from family, people ignoring me, good friends hearing no, and I took it personally. I thought, what is it that I'm doing that, they're saying these things. And that kind of, I just thought to myself, that's when I started to think, well, reflect back on my why, fueling why I wanted to share Plexus, and what was going to get me through, when people quit, or when life got busy, when moments got slow, just any discouraged situation. And I would, my daily affirmations helped me a lot. Personal growth, reading, I've read tons and tons of books, which I think we're going to talk about then. Plugging into training calls, I would, go onto YouTube or go into our team page, and I would watch something. Diamond documentaries, those are so powerful, so powerful. And just realizing that it's normal. It's okay to feel discouraged, and it's okay to take a step back and reflect on your discouragement. That really helped me a lot too. So, yeah.
Thank you. Jamie, did you have something, or did you cover it in your other stuff?
Yeah, it kind of overlapped a little bit with me. I have moments where I'd be overwhelmed and question myself. And I think my biggest thing, besides what these ladies mentioned with remembering your why and personal growth books, is huge. But my biggest thing is also just using my upline and leaning on them to give me the encouragement to power through. I mean, I talk to them every single day, and that is really what gets me through a lot of tough times. I think if I am struggling with something, that's my go-to, and that's what can really switch things very quickly from being upset or negative or frustrated to being excited again, and having that just that will to keep going and the excitement for it. So
yeah, I totally agree. I'm gonna have to say this here: if you guys aren't utilizing your sponsor, your upline, you need to be, because we're basically sitting here waiting to hear from you. That's what I feel like sometimes. You want to know if someone's struggling so you can help them, because you've probably already been there. I know sometimes I'll message my sponsor, who's Lori Welch, and I'll just be like, tell me this is normal. I really just want to know sometimes, is this normal? Am I okay? Because I don't feel real normal right now. And that's all I want. Like, I just want a quick one sentence, yes, this is normal, this is fine. I'm like, okay, cool. And that's all I want. And I love our chat with Jamie, and just talking to everyone. It always helps. I mean, most of us are women. There are guys in the business, but I think just talking, I've talked to a lot of girls on my team, and they're like, oh my gosh, I just feel so much better talking. So this is about relationships. Get involved with your team and build those relationships. And I know this is some people's favorite part of the business, mine included, but let's talk about your favorite parts of this business. Kodie, want to go first?
Oh gosh, is this a random question?
No, it's not. What's your favorite parts of the business?
Gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. My favorite parts of the business. Oh, man. Besides the travel, which is awesome, and making all kinds of amazing friendships. I mean, I feel like these ladies are stuck with me forever, whether they like it or not. Yeah, I would have to say the friendships, definitely. And the travel's awesome. The financial aspects of the business are amazing.
Okay, Jaime, were you prepared for this question?
Yes. My favorite part is definitely the friendships, and I think that was the most surprising part for me too. You go into it thinking that, okay, this is something I have to work at, some things I have to do, checklists I have to do every day. But just by talking with my team every day, going through the struggles together, the ups and downs, celebrating together, supporting and encouraging each other, you just naturally develop these friendships, and these friendships have really turned into this whole Plexus family. I mean, my downline, my sidelines, upline, everything, and it's just been so rewarding to develop that online with people you've never even met before, and then to go on these trips and to actually see these people and meet them and hug them, and it's just been very, very rewarding. So that's my favorite part of this, hands down.
Okay, Tiffany.
Definitely have to say the friendships and the relationships, working together as a team, just changing lives, hearing the testimonies and the stories, and watching the videos and just seeing everything. It's all rewarding. But the perks are good too. Free trips, the pay, the financial aspects. Our Plexus Lexus was huge for us because the day that we picked it up, the next day, we went to church, and a family at our church was, their car, it was like their engine had died in their truck, and they didn't have another vehicle, weren't really sure how, to afford another vehicle. And we were able to give them my husband's old truck. It was nothing fancy, but it looked good. It ran well. And that was so awesome. Like that was, and that was right when I hit Emerald. So that was huge, just to be able to feel that blessing and to be able to bless somebody else when we were just blessed with the Lexus. So that's, that was one of my definitely favorite parts of it too, is just being a blessing to others, and all these relationships with these, wonderful men and women on the team. And like James said, sidelines, uplines, downlines. It's awesome. Feels like big reunions every time we all go somewhere and no one wants to leave. So, yeah.
I know. I agree. Okay, Brittney. Favorite part?
I love the whole thing. I love this business. But I guess my favorite things, well, first of all, the team building, like everybody else said, the friendships, those are just invaluable. I absolutely love the great friends that I have made in this business that otherwise I would not have. Through Facebook, I've made great friends. I've rekindled relationships that I went to high school with or just knew from years ago. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. So that's awesome. I absolutely love the friendships and the relationships. Not just with my downline, but also with my sidelines and, of course, my upline. And also, I love to teach. And so this is kind of an outlet. This gives me an outlet to do that. I love to teach. I also love the freedom. I think that really, if I could just sum up this business in one word, it would be freedom. Mm-hmm. Time freedom. I can work this business when I want to work it. I can make my own hours. Where I want to. I'm actually on a camping trip with my family in the mountains of North Georgia right now. I'm sitting in my husband's truck where it's quiet and I have a light on my face. But yeah, I'm working while I'm here, but I could just as easily be working at home, with my kids playing in my yard, or they can be here, playing in the woods or swimming in the pool or whatever. We're all here on a trip together as a family, and I can still work. So we just have the freedom to do things like that. And the biggest thing at this point in my journey is freedom for my husband to choose. because he didn't have a lot of choices before as far as what he was going to do to provide. But now he does, because we had been praying for years about being able to start his own home business, but we just had never been in a financial position to do that because we were completely dependent on his income. And Plexus has allowed us the flexibility to do that now. And so he has now come home and he is pursuing his own business in real estate. So yeah, I love the freedom.
It's not fair that I don't get to talk, y'all. I like to talk. Telling you, this business is amazing. I got so much I could say right now, but I'm just gonna be quiet so we can get through these questions. Okay, so now that you're a Jewel, how has your lives changed? Finances, how you work and growing your business, anything personal, business, how things have changed. Just what looks different compared to when you were a silver? Kodie?
I don't feel like my business has changed an awful lot. I'm really grateful to be a leader in this company. I absolutely love Plexus, and being an emerald is pretty sweet, but my ultimate goal is diamonds. So I'm still working hard and doing the same kind of work, I guess. I think that you find there's a certain point in your business where you have to help your team, and you also have to grow your own personal business and still recruit level ones, which is really, really important to go wide. So I think that there's a point in your business where it changes and you have to find a balance. There's no such thing as a perfect balance, but you have to try to balance that. But right now, I guess I don't feel like I'm working differently. I do maybe feel like I can do a load of laundry with both hands instead of one now, without having, the phone in the other. And that's just because I have some awesome leaders on my team that, I know that things are going to be okay if I'm not there. But as far as the financial aspects, gosh, that's changed a lot. For those of you who don't know our story, we are a large family. I'm a mother of 6. My husband is a police officer. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 12 years before Plexus, and he's been a police officer for 10. Me staying home and being a stay-at-home mom and raising our babies was something that was really important to us. And I feel really blessed that I was able to do that. But in doing that, we've lived off of a police officer salary for 10 years, and things were really, really tight. So I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck and rob Peter to pay Paul. And I know, unfortunately, what it's like to get your water shut off and make a really tight grocery budget stretch really far. So yeah, the financial aspects of this business have been awesome. I mean, when I first started Plexus, I would have to check the bank account before I could buy diapers or put gas in the car just to make sure we could cover it. And so now it's really amazing to have helped all of these people get healthy and change their lives, but not have to check the bank account when we go get groceries. And get what we need and a little bit of what we want. It's pretty awesome too.
It is. Okay, Jaime.
Well, I'm only a couple weeks in Jewel status, but for me, it's been exciting because I not only can stay home with my kids, but now we are doing things around the house that need to be done. We're able to finish our basement. So just some tangible things like that I can, we're actually using my Plexus income for. And it's been a huge blessing that we can do things like that. Christian education, stuff that is very important to our family for the future and for our kids. So that's huge in terms of our lives in that matter and finances. And in growing the team, I mean, Kodie kind of covered that really well. I was going to say very similar stuff with just shifting your focus to, where's your team at and helping them reach their goals. Coaching calls have been huge and important, I think. Just meeting them where they're at and focusing on that. So,
thank you. And Tiffany, did we already do you?
No.
Okay.
No. I was like, I don't think. It's definitely the freedom for us. Health freedom I experienced early on, financial freedom, the time freedom. We're so blessed and thankful. You know, my husband's active duty military. He's a Black Hawk pilot, but you know, we still had a lot of debt, and we were still living paycheck to paycheck, making ends meet, taking care of the kids. We've been able to give more to pay off that debt. We experienced a lot of freedom when we were coming back actually from convention. As a lot of people know, I was about almost 38 weeks pregnant coming home, and my mom's flight got canceled. And that was a heart attack for me because I wanted my mom there. She had to be there on Sunday when we were giving birth. And we were able to, you know, pull out a card, and we were able to pay for that flight, to rebook her flight without the stress of, you know, are we going to be able to get the groceries next week or pay this bill, or is it just another credit card mounting up, you know? And so that was pretty awesome for us, because as I sat there booking it, I was like, thank you, Plexus. Like, this is financial freedom. Thank you. And so as far as, you know, growing a team, Kodie she mentioned pretty much what I was going to say. I've poured into my team, but the dynamics change a little bit. I feel like I'm still working a lot, you know, heading up to Diamond, but it's now I feel like I have more freedom to pull away. And especially with a newborn, you know, more freedom to kind of set the schedule around his schedule and what we need. And sometimes it's hard to pull away. I mean, I love my team. I love this Plexus gig. I love it all. So I'm like, I'm okay working. And, you know, I just am reminded that it's okay. And that was really, and then like Kodie had mentioned earlier, I had down, you know, just about management mode. It's easy, especially at Jewel, you know, Emerald, Sapphire, Diamond, when you see you have a large team, to start going into management mode. And it's so important to kind of pull back and just keep recruiting and keep going wide. And you definitely start to see at Jewel where you feel like, wow, all this hard work I've put in, you know, I was silver last summer, and to see this hard work finally paying off, and to see my team growing and just, you know, experiencing the same freedoms, it's awesome. It's absolutely just great. It's the best part of it. So.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so give examples of what your day looked like. How did you fit it all in? Kind of like a rough estimate of your schedule. What kind of IPA did you make sure you did every day? Or every weekday, however you work that. Kodie, do you want to go next? Let me unmute you. Hello?
Oh.
Okay.
Hello? Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I muted myself. So what did it look like? I can tell you what I looked like. I probably looked homeless. I probably smelled. So the housework probably wasn't up to par. You know, we ate some frozen pizza and some chicken nuggets, I'm sure. There was sacrifice. I mean, I love my TV. And so I couldn't tell you who the Bachelor is now or who won Survivor. But I sacrifice those things. We make time for things that are most important in our lives, and our future was really, really important to me. So those things went by the wayside. I have an incredible husband. I mean, he was really great about telling me it's okay. It's okay if the housework isn't all done, as long as the kids' basic needs are met. And, you know, it's okay. They're not in extracurricular activities this year. It's okay. We're all sacrificing, and we're all working hard for a goal, a family goal. And I think it was important for us to have a family discussion. So we sat the kids down and was like, look, mommy is doing something really awesome. I'm going to help a lot of people, and it's going to give us a life and a future that we could not have had otherwise. It's going to take the big kids stepping up just a little bit more. And mommy's not going to be available as I used to be. Another thing is when things got a little rough, because it does. It's not all traipsing through the tulips. It's pretty amazing, but there are times it gets a little rough. And in those moments, we dreamed as a family. So it didn't become my dream anymore. This wasn't my Plexus dream. This was our dream. So when things got rough, we would ask the kids to dream with us. Where do you want to go when mommy's a Plexus diamond? Where do you maybe want to live? What do you want to try to do? You know, things that we couldn't have done before. So dreaming together as a family, I think was huge.
That is huge. I was getting the chills over here thinking about it because I didn't even think about it. We did the same with our kids. Jamie, do you want to go?
For what my day looked like in the beginning, I started off watching tons of videos about the products, about the business, just trying to educate myself. And then as I was growing, like Kodie said, things were kind of crazy. I was just answering my messages when I could throughout the day. So I was making lunch with the kids, or I was doing laundry with one hand, like Kodie said before. Wherever I was going, I was trying to just quick answer messages when I could. And then my biggest chunk of the day was after I got the kids to bed, trying to really plug away. And I sacrificed some sleep and some relaxation time. I, didn't watch the TV at night, and I stayed up late at night. And I didn't get that quality time as much with my husband, and he's been very understanding, but just kind of sacrificing some of that time and relaxation and plugging away was kind of what that looked like for me. And what IPA did I do was that 3-2-1 that we talked about before, trying to get personal growth books, reading that, doing that as a minimum, and then on top of that, trying to get some extra stuff in. But yeah.
Thank you, Jamie. All right, Tiffany, what did it look like for you?
Yeah, it was a little crazy. And I remember being told it was okay to not clean for a year. That's still the quote that sticks out to me. And I took him up on that offer. But I had a supportive family, husband, girls helping out more, a lot of what Jamie and Kodie said. And, I made a lot of sacrifices. I didn't make excuses. And when I would make excuses, I was told, are you making excuses? And so, time management really became my friend. I was doing my IPA in the carpool lane at school. When I was fixing my hair and makeup in the morning, I don't even use my TiVo anymore. I was addicted to that thing. So, I stopped watching my TV shows. I was just plugging into people, I was waking up a little earlier, just maybe staying up a little later, just doing, realizing that meals didn't have to be, 4-course meals and incredible, and they could just be smaller. I think, some nights the kids might have had some beans and cereal, but I don't know, they ate. So, but, my days still consist of, posting daily on Facebook, reaching out to new contacts, following up, watching training videos, working on personal growth. So none of that has ever changed. Now it's just, there's just more time there, but still growing and still doing it. But sacrifices were just the biggest thing for us, and just not making excuses, because I knew, like Kodie said, we were dreaming together as a family, deciding what we were going to do when we get to Diamond, and where we're going to live, and what the girls wanted to do and what vacations they wanted to take. So it was all important to us as a family, being able to pay for college, things like that. It's just what we reflected back on. And I said to my husband, just give me a year, give me more time, give me this. And he was just, the support was helpful and awesome. So definitely, yeah, it was, there was not a lot of balance though, which I think is important for people just starting. I treated it like a job. I treated it like I was, putting a 30, 40 year career, compacting it down into 1, 2, 3 years. So I definitely, and it helps that I love it. So sometimes it's hard to pull away.
I think we all agree to that one. Brittney, what about you?
So what my day looked like, I would get up really early to read before all of my kids would get up and mommy. Personal growth is super important to me, so that's something I don't ever want to neglect. So definitely made time for that. When I was Ruby, I think almost senior Ruby, I hired help. I hired somebody to clean my house. I hired somebody to come and help me with my littles in the mornings, just for a few hours, just so I could have some focused time on my business, just a little while. And so my older kids would do schoolwork in the mornings, and I would work my business, and I would have somebody there helping me with my littles. And then when my littles would take naps in the afternoons is when I would do schoolwork with my kids. And then, of course, there's a lot of nooks and crannies, So answering messages throughout the day. I don't think I've ever sat down and watched a video. Like, I get my training in while I'm living. Like, while I'm doing laundry, I have a video playing. If I'm in my car, there's a audio book playing something. So my car is like a rolling university. And I did a lot of calls at night. My husband helps a ton too. So that's pretty much how I fit it all in. Was there another question? Or was that it?
I think that was it. What IPA did you do?
Oh, IPA. I mean, there's only a few things that are income producing. So reaching out to new contacts, following up, teaching your team how to do the same thing. So that's what I've always done. That's what I do now.
And I will say, all of these ladies, none of them stopped. For the entire year that they went from silver to jewel status, they did their IPA every day except maybe the weekends. Take a couple days off then. Last question, and then we have some questions from the audience that we're going to answer. I figured we'd go a little late tonight, you guys, so I'm glad most of you are still with us. What are your top 3 to 5 tips for those who want to be successful in this business, whatever level of success they're looking for? And we'll combine that with what books do you recommend, so answer both of those. And Kodie, you can go first.
Okay, I've got 5 tips, and it kind of touches on every answer that I had, really. Number 1, weed out negativity. Number 2, don't compare yourself to others. Remember, another's success is not your failure. Number 3, work hard. Sacrifice is a must, and it's normal. It's normal to have a large laundry pile or eat lots of chicken nuggets. Number 4, make this a family thing, not a you thing. Dream together. And number 5, be courageous. Do things though you're scared. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in spite of fear. And my books, see, I've got them right here. I don't love this title, but this is an amazing book. I don't know if I should read it out loud in case there are children on the call. It's kind of late, but it's by Jen Sincero. Really, really good book. John Maxwell's 21 Laws of Irrefutable. Wait, is that what it's called? Yeah, Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. This is an amazing leadership book. It's my favorite. And this is probably the best book that I've read since I've started, and that is Girl Code. Unlocking the Secrets to Success, Sanity, and Happiness for the Female Entrepreneur by Kara Alwill Leba. I don't know. This is a good one. Pick this up, ladies, for real.
Thank you, Kodie. Yep. Okay, Jaime, your tips and your books.
My tips, 1 is to be coachable and use your upline. They've been there, they've done that, they know what works, what doesn't, and they've struggled there. So it's not to say that you can't do something, come up with new ideas, but just work with them and bounce ideas off of them. Another one is ask for help and ask for advice. Don't sit there quiet and not tell someone that you're struggling. Be open and honest. Your upline can help. And if you're not meeting your goals, then reevaluate with them and come up with a game plan and move forward and follow through. And then I'm going to quote one of my daughter's favorite movies, but Let It Go is another tip for me. If you're holding on to any self-doubt, any negative self-talk, any fear, just let it go. Don't hang on to that. Decide to be all in and to do what it takes to make it. And part of that means just believing in yourself and letting go of anything that's holding you back. So I challenge you to evaluate that in yourself. If you're holding on to something, figure out what that is and tell your upline and talk to them about it, so you can move forward. And then my favorite books, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. That was one that kind of I really liked because I felt like I could apply that to not only my business, but to my family and my kids, and just a really good book that addresses negative self-talk and all that kind of stuff. And then the 4 color personalities for MLM, I also really liked because it kind of normalized. I'm a yellow, and I get told that I'm too sensitive from my husband. He's probably a red. So it kind of normalized that for me, and it's just fun to learn the different personalities and how people are, different. So, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Tiffany, tips and books.
Yes, definitely some tips. Daily IPA, just being consistent, 3-2-1-5-3-1, being coachable. I listened to literally everything Phallin told me. Even if it was uncomfortable, I listened to her, and I still listen to her, even if I'm like, seriously? So that's huge. And also another thing was just being a leader. Even if you have one person under you, you are a leader. It's so important to show your team that. One person, you're a leader. And so believing in yourself and not being afraid, forget fear, be bold. When I did that after my sister had passed away, it changed everything. So having that passion and belief and deciding that you're going to be all in, that's what it takes. Just tell yourself every day your daily affirmations, your why. It'll be what keeps you, it'll drive you. Some books, Kodie mentioned 21 Irrefutable Laws. The 4 color personalities, I have them here just to kind of show if it helps. 4 color personalities by Tom Schreider. And then What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Chad Helmstetter. We did a really, really incredible book club on this with Sonia Dudley. Also, The Magic of Thinking Big. That's a huge one for so many people. Great, great book. David Schwartz. And then also another one that had been recommended was Millionaire by Halftime, and that was Presley Swaggerty. And that's a really, really great book too. I'm excited to start reading that Girl Code, Kodie. So that's the next one. And y'all, can I just say that I've been sitting here this whole call with this squishy little baby. So this is freedom. Where else can you be at your jobs, from home, staying with your baby and working this? It's incredible to be able to stay at home and not have to think I have to leave my baby. So it's what it's all about. Love it. So yeah.
Thank you. All right, Brittney.
So tips to be successful. First of all, be consistent. You have to work this like a business if you want it to pay you like a business. If you're looking for people to join your team that are serious about the business, they're going to be looking for someone who's serious about the business. So that means they're going to be looking for somebody who is consistent, somebody who is a lifer, somebody who is all in. And being all in means that Plexus is your plan A and your plan B. That's what being all in means. So be all in. As far as the products are concerned, focus on long-term health. Definitely focus on long-term health, because it's amazing how these products really are getting to the root of some of people's health struggles. And so you really do have something phenomenal on your hands here to offer people. Always keep learning. The more you learn, the more you're going to earn. So you should always, always, always try to, expand your mind. Learn something new every day. Don't neglect your personal growth. I would say that IPA is the biggest part of this business, but another huge part that is often neglected is personal growth. There's a difference between professional growth and personal growth, even when it comes to books. So professional growth books would be things that you're reading to learn skills that are going to help you be better in your business. Personal growth books are going to help you become a better person. So they address things like your mindset or your habits or your character, like your integrity, things like that. They help you grow as a person. So personal growth is super important because it's going to make your IPA more effective. It's going to make your leadership skills more effective if you are growing personally. So don't neglect that. If it scares you, do it anyway. I can tell you a lot of things about this business have scared me, but I chose to do it anyway, and the reward has been exponential. Books, so Switch on Your Brain, obviously that was a game changer for me as far as personal growth. And also 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. That's probably one of my favorite personal growth books of all time. Professional growth, I don't know. There's a lot that I have read. Go Pro, the Color MLM book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business, Millionaire by Halftime, the main ones. Anything by John Maxwell, that's personal growth. But yeah, so those are my favorite books.
Okay, ladies, thank you so much for sharing with everyone. And a lot of people love it so much they have some questions. So your favorite thing to do is be put on the spot. Anybody who wants to answer can just answer these. But somebody asked you guys, if somebody says, I've tried direct sales before and I'm just not good at them, what is the issue there? Is it a limiting belief in themselves, limiting belief in network marketing? What would you say?
I'd say 2 things. It's they don't have belief in themselves, for sure. They have personal growth to do. But also, I think it's really important for people to realize that Plexus is different. It's so different. And when people hear, oh, that's another one of those MLMs, no, it's not. They do it right. What's the saying? Network marketing, the way it should be done, could be done, but rarely is. Plexus does it right. And when people make comments like that, it's usually because they just have no idea how different it is. So I think that it would be our responsibility to explain to them how it's different.
So Eric Worre talks about in his book Go Pro, he talks about how everybody has a story. When somebody says that they have done network marketing before and it doesn't work, they have a story. So you just ask them, you have a story. That's a loaded statement right there. What happened? So you just ask them pointed questions like, well, the company that you were working for, is it still around? Most of the time they'll say, yeah. Well, how about the products? Are the products still around? How about your upline? Are they being successful? Are there other people that are being successful in that company? And basically you just have to kind of ask loaded questions to get them to see that the problem was them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think another thing is just people are like, you don't make money in that. And I think, I've done MLMs before, and our comp plan is entirely different than anything I've ever seen. So that's another big aspect for a lot of people is, they don't believe it. And I speak from experience. It was one of the things that held me back in the very beginning.
Okay, so what about when someone asks you, what is Plexus? What is your go-to response? Hey, I sell Plexus.
I love how Amber Miller talks about Plexus being a body balancer.
Yeah.
So I'll say Plexus is an awesome body balancer. We help people get healthy. Do you feel like you need some balancing? Do you feel like, do you want some more information? I have a video about this on YouTube. I like to answer by what it's not. It's not a wrap. It's not a quick fix. It's not a teeny tiny frozen dinner. It's something totally different.
I just tell them it's something they all need. But I started saying the body balancer is really just a way to kind of keep it short and sweet and help them. And like Kodie said, saying what it's not, but everything that it is and what it's done for me, I think not getting too into detail, but kind of giving them the brief overview is good. But really, they all need it. So that's usually my go-to response. It's just something amazing y'all need.
She does. I've been with her.
I don't know.
Brittney or Jamie, you have a response for that?
Yeah, I usually, if somebody just says, what is Plexus? Then I'll just say Plexus is a line of natural health supplements that address some very key issues of health. Blood sugar balance and gut health are the root behind the vast majority of health issues that we deal with as Americans. What are your health goals? That's what I say.
What I say too there, Brittney.
Yeah, I'm a mix. I'm all over the place. Okay, so
Yeah.
how...
I was just going to add, I love asking, ending whatever the conversation is with the question, what are your health goals or what are you looking for? Because people love to talk about themselves. So that always gets them to respond, and then you can tell them how Plexus is going to make them feel amazing.
Yeah, I think what's the most important is finding out what their health goals are, because then you can kind of cater your answer to them. You know, if they're looking for weight loss, then you can show them how this helps weight loss or whatever the case may be. But it really, you have to make it about them. And it is really, there's no magic answer. I mean, Plexus is a lot of things, but really you just have to keep the focus on them.
Okay, we have a few more questions, and I like this one. How do you get people to stick with it and not turn off their backup order or quit right away?
I think telling them right away so that they don't have the expectation that they see this quick fix, but warning them ahead of time, saying, you know, you need to at least give it a few months. Some people might see results right away, but some people it might take 3 months or longer, because your body is getting balanced on the inside, and it's not some quick fix. It's something for your long-term health, and trying to, and I think keeping following up with them regularly, you know, every week at first, especially figuring out what's going on right away so that they're not sitting there unhappy and struggling and you don't know it, and then all of a sudden they've thrown in the towel before you can even troubleshoot with them and help them.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like it's never a fact or a matter rather of Plexus working or not, because we know the products work. So following up with them and asking a lot of questions and figuring out why they're not working for them. And usually it's because they're taking it wrong, or, you know, they've got something else going on that you need to troubleshoot. But troubleshooting is really important. And like Jamie said, making sure that they realize that this is long-term health. This isn't just something quick fix that's going to make you feel good right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say about the same stuff. Just making sure working really closely with everyone, and not like when someone tells me that they're turning something off or quitting, I just don't believe it. I don't understand why. So I got to get to the root of this problem real quick. So, I mean, y'all know, Jane knows. Here comes Tiffany. But it's so important because we know these products work, and usually there's something that you can find there that's not matching up, just depending how they're taking the products that, you know, we can help them with. Because people want these products. They want them to work. They're not just taking them and wasting money and hoping they don't work. I mean, they want them to work. So definitely important to keep lines of communication open and be following up with them.
I'm going to say, Brittney probably has something to say, but about Tiffany, I think part of it, you have to be brave. She went through the worst detox I've seen in my entire business. And maybe it was because I was holding her hand. Maybe it was because it was through the holidays and we talked a lot about poop, and she wouldn't be embarrassed for me to say that. But I think being brave and knowing how the products work and how you're helping them is going to help you say, keep going, keep going. I promise you that you will overcome these mind games and coming off these antidepressants and anxiety meds and all this. I know that you can do this. Let's just go slowly, drink your water, and help them through the detox. But tell them that this is good, this is normal, this is healthy. You're getting your body healthy. It will get better. And it is a little scary to say that to someone, especially the first time. But going through that with Tiffany, my confidence is so high in these products that anybody can get through anything and get the results they want. If they're not getting them today, there's something else that the body is using the products to work through. If they want weight loss and it's not happening right away, there's something going on in their body right now. I had a girl who didn't lose weight, and it turned out she had Lyme's disease and all kinds of digestive issues, and Plexus was trying to help her body with that, so the weight loss didn't come off right away. So just having a firm belief will help you keep people's backup orders on and on the products. Brittney, did you have something?
Basically what y'all said. So competence comes before confidence. Just like Phallin said, you need to know what's happening, and that kind of goes in line with what I was saying earlier. You should never stop learning. You should always be learning. If you don't know, ask. Utilize your upline, and then a lot of it is how you sell it on the front end. Just letting people know these are health supplements. This is not a quick fix. It takes time for your body to heal after likely decades of damage. It takes time. So that's what you say.
I wanted to add something too. Early on, Phallin said, don't let them quit. And I was a little offended because I was like, well, of course I'm not going to let them. Who wants to let people quit? But what that really means is push them. You know, people need encouragement. They need motivation. They need some understanding of what's going on with their bodies, you know. So ask a lot of questions and don't just let them quit.
Okay, so this is kind of off that. What can you say to a customer who has turned off their order or they stopped the products? If you didn't set expectations up front, how do you follow up with them? What would you say if you noticed they shut it off?
Still ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, I would ask a lot of questions, and I would send something really like excited and peppy. So a message of mine might look like, hey girl, I know you shut your AQ off, but I know these products are going to help you, and I want to help you reach your goals. You started out with goals. Let's get you there. I want you to start back on the triplex. Let's get your order in today. We can do this. I'm going to do this with you.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm using that.
Did you? Okay, I didn't know if you were going to say add something onto that, Brittney. And then this is the last question. Someone has the biggest problem is that after someone purchases, they ignore the messages. They won't allow her to follow up with them. What does that mean?
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I think that's important to know, is that we all have that. We all have people pull the Houdini on us. It just happens. But usually if they're ignoring you and they're not taking the products anymore, or they shut their AQ off and they're just, you have to reach out, and you're responsible for the effort, not the outcome. So if you've put forth the effort and they still aren't, bouncing the ball, chances are they're just not ready. They're not ready to change their health. That's just it.
Yep.
You got to bless and release. Bless and release them.
Yeah. And I'm constantly telling, my team, I'm saying, y'all don't be afraid of those whites and, these backup orders off. Go in there and talk to these people. I don't care if they quit 2 or 3 months ago. Situations change, circumstances change, our health changes, people come back around. I've seen people quit for 4 months and come back around and go gold, senior gold, and so on. So just, I think the biggest thing is not seeing the white and then thinking all is lost and they're gone forever. I still say, hey, consider them a part of your team and be following up with them just as much as, as you would see your greens and stuff like that. And it helps. I see a lot of change there.
Totally agree.
That's a good point. I check in with people once a month.
Yeah.
That's part of my IPA.
Yeah. Your whites.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I was saying that today on coaching calls. I said about once a month, still follow up with them, and we have all these brand new products. What better opportunity and time than now to reach out to them and plug these new products. It's a great opportunity for that. So.
Jaime, did you have anything, or Brittney, on that one?
Sometimes you have to ignore that you're being ignored. and you just keep on trucking. You don't give up on people. You know what you have your hands on. You know those folks need these products even if they don't. And so you just keep following up. You just keep on.
Yep. And that, that I've always told Phallin, I believe, Phallin, that one day, even if it's taken a year, everybody that I know will buy Plexus and join me. I told girls today on calls, I'm having friends now that, have signed up and I've talked to them for a year, but I've followed up with them and, I've helped them along the way with questions they've had. And so I believe that everybody needs these products. So I will not stop sharing them.
And some people might be ignoring you and you just can't, there's nothing you can do. But some people just might not, they don't have that sense of urgency like we do. We want messages answered right away and we want, this to happen right away. But some people just might forget to answer, and if you follow up a couple more times, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot," and then they'll answer. So you never know. So don't give up, and keep doing what you got to do, and like Kodie said, blast and release.
Yeah, and they're not ignoring you, girl. They see all that. They see your Facebook. They see your posts. They are not ignoring you.
Right? I like to create a sense of urgency because, like Jaime said, sometimes there just is no urgency. People just aren't in a big hurry to get themselves together. Yeah. So I create it. I'm like, hey, girl, you do not want to spend another second feeling bad about your body, feeling bad about your health, or feeling bad about your finances. Let's get your order in. We're going to get you all fixed up.
Yep.
And what I've learned that people who ignore you, if they're already on the products, they're not taking them. Usually I find out they're not. They don't want to talk to you because they're not doing what they should be. But they all come around. I've had girls that were going to work the business a year ago and they didn't message me. 3 this week. 2 of them joined and 1 is getting ready to rejoin. They just weren't ready for it then, but they are now. They had a baby. They changed their mind. So always keep those friends, keep those relationships. And one question that someone had on here, if you guys want to add anything to it, I was just going to answer it real quick. But how do you get contacts while being safe on Facebook? I know what we do is just block the weirdos, but most people are just normal, happy people. If they look weird, block them. Don't unfriend them. Just block them so they can't see you ever again. But we meet people in Facebook groups. That's where I met Kodie, was a Facebook group. And just friend people with common interests. I've met some of my best friends just because we're interested in chores or homeschooling or sourdough bread, whatever it is. So just find some groups, join them, and start being a friend. That's how you'll get new contacts, honestly, is building a relationship, which was hard for me at the beginning. So How to Win Friends and Influence People was a really good book.
I would just add to that, though, that a person's Facebook page is very telling. So if someone sends you a friend's request and you don't have any mutual friends, or maybe you just have a couple, go to their Facebook page. I mean, you're going to be able to tell if they're a weirdo. If they're posting like nudie pics and cuss words all day long, you don't want to add them as a friend, So go to someone's Facebook page and stalk them a little bit. You can see what kind of person they are.
And I tell you, Phallin talking about her block list makes me laugh because I'm like, do y'all have a block list just as long as Phallin's? Because she's always telling me, block them, girl. Block them then. And so I'm sitting here, oh, that's weird, block. My list is so long. I hope she's telling y'all the same thing.
I've heard that a few times, I think. Yeah.
Well, because I'm so open on Facebook with my kids and everything, I don't want some crazy person in India coming around.
And like Kodie said, you can tell. I mean, you go and you see they've got nudie pics of all these women, and you're like, yeah, no. Like, you can tell so much just by going there. So, yeah.
All right, ladies. Thank you so much for being on this call. They're all wonderful, everyone. Friend them, follow them. What I did at the beginning was stalk the successful people and did what they did. So
my real name is Kodie Helmer. It's not Kodie Lynn. So I was trying to change it, but I couldn't. So if you want to add me on Facebook.
Yeah, Jaime Haskin. Yours doesn't say your last name too, girl.
Whoops. I typed it in here somewhere.
Oh, did somebody? Okay, someone asked.
Okay, good.
All right, everybody. You guys
Thanks, guys.
So nice. Have a good night, everyone.